It's it's a club that's it just feels like, oh, genuinely, it just feels like it's a club that's been in transition for so long. Like they win the URC and everybody's talking about they're still a club in transition. It's just a weird thought to have. But um, head coach is gone. They brought in Chris Boyd from Northampton Saints, who was there. Well, he left there. He was there for a number of years. Brought him in as like an advisor slash like director rugby slash. I'm not really sure. Donny, you and I could get a job in professional rugby. They just make up a title for you and throw you in there just to see how you get on. It's crazy. So yeah, Andy Kiriaki's gone. Graham Roundtree's gone. Dennis Leamy's been given a contract extensions. Prendergast, sort of, he seems to be the guy leading the charge there as well. So, yeah, the players need to respond and get a reaction. I think they did that in parts in the game against the Lions. 17-10, they won that game. It wasn't that much quality in the game. A couple of nice scores from Munster, but the Lions got a point out of the game and they'll be happy enough with that and move on. But yeah, Munster are welcoming back, Craig Casey, Jack Crowley, Tag Byrne, um, just to name a couple of guys who will be starting for them. And yeah, they got to turn it on. They haven't played Stade Francais in quite some time. They're not a team that seem to come up quite often in their Champions Cup pool. So it's a great fixture. Stade Francais are steeped in history. We all know Stade Francais. As soon as you say it, they've got the pink jersey, they've got the flamboyancy, they've got the characters. They've had crazy ownerships in the past that like to be alternative. So yeah, they've probably underachieved for some of the players that they've had over the last decade or more, but they always bring a bit of edge up front, and that's maybe an area that Munster have been slightly weak on over the last season or two, with injuries and all the rest of it. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to 5:30 tomorrow afternoon, Saturday afternoon, down in Thomond Park. So looking forward to that one, seeing how Munster get on, and yes, the Lions posed a bit of a challenge, but you would think that Stade Francais are going to offer Munster a few more problems, and I'm excited to see what reaction we get from this Munster side. Ah, Donny, it frustrates the life out of me. It does. Like, you open up the medical report, and it says, like, Ben Moxham, serious knee injury, John Cooney, hamstring injury, unavailable, and like one other player was like rehabbing, and we'll see how the week goes or something. I'm like, there's like 10 players out injured, like, who, give us some information. And the week before, they did sort of name those players, but like the fans, and this is a huge thing that even reading a couple of the replies to that tweet, the fans always want to feel like they're engaged and they're a part of this journey. They're a part of the team. Like some of the fans almost want to be part of like the recovery process of some of the players. Like they want to reach out to them, say, "Oh, can't wait until you're back in 6 weeks' time, Jacob," or Ben Moxham, another really bad knee injury. By the way, you've suffered another. I'm not sure what it is, but say you've suffered another ACL injury. If somebody reads that, there could be a businessman who's reading that and going, "Geez, that guy has had really bad luck over the last couple of years. If he has to hang the boots up, I want to give him an opportunity. I'll reach out to him and say, look, if you want to come in and we can help you, you've been in the doldrums like for the last 2 seasons." And that's what they don't understand, is that the fans and the Ulster Rugby followers, and this just, by the way, this just isn't Ulster Rugby. Like, this is Irish Rugby. Donny, you've read a lot of those medical reports after Irish Rugby games. It's nonsensical. Like, it is. It's so bad, and I know there are maybe little stipulations in terms of what you can say and what you can't say about a player, and that's fair enough. That's okay. But I think if you asked a lot of the players with the whole confidentiality thing around medical issues, I think they would rather fans knew what position they were in and what the followers of Ulster Rugby or Munster Rugby or Irish Rugby, wherever it may be, they would prefer them to know where they're at with their injury. Because I tell you now, Donny, see when I was injured with my ankle and all it was every single week, mate, I couldn't walk into the butcher's without somebody going, Stevie, when are you coming back? Stevie, when are you coming back? You go into the corporate hospitality boxes. Stevie, how long's left in this injury? You've been out for so long. Where if Ulster Rugby at that time were able to say, Stephen Ferris is looking like he's going to be out for the next 6 months. I don't have to answer those questions. Do you know what I mean? And it's only more so now that I'm retired and reflecting, looking back on it, I think they're missing a trick. I really do. So anyway, that's that rant over with. That's my rant of the week, Donny, about medical reports coming out of clubs. And as I said, it's not just Ulster Rugby. It's a lot of clubs across world rugby. But yeah, the Ulster game this weekend, people seem to forget that Ulster went there and won a couple of years ago. And unfortunately, with the return fixture, Toulouse came and won by a point. It wasn't it with the aggregate overall. So happy memories away from home, not so much at home. I think it was, let me see, 13th of January 2024. Toulouse came to Belfast and racked up 48 points and absolutely battered them at home. Now, the team that took the pitch that day was half decent, and I'm expecting a team to go over here against Toulouse and be a slightly weaker side than what was on show in Belfast there in January 2024. So it's going to be all hands to the pump. It's going to be a really, really tough fixture. It's going to be against the European champions. DuPont's going to be back in. Like, I was speaking to somebody, Mark Robson, who I would work with on a lot of broadcasting games, and I said, "Oh yeah, like, do you reckon they could field a slightly weak inside, or even make a few changes just to rest a few guys?" And his response was, "Stevie, if Toulouse fielded a weak inside at home, their home fans would be outraged. They pitch up every single week at home to watch DuPont, to watch Entomac, to watch Miafo, to watch Aldegheri, just they have to play. So their options are off the charts. Movaka at hooker as well is more or less like having a back row. So Jack Willis is playing unbelievable rugby. Maybe an outside chance for Lions selection if there's a headache for Andy Farrell to maybe pick another back rower. He could be there too. So yeah, it's going to be a really, really tough ask for Ulster. And I know people are slagging me saying, "Oh, what's a good result for Ulster to keep it under 50?" Like, that's not the mindset that the Ulster players have. Of course, it's not. The fans are more in hope than expectation. But I think what Richie Murphy will want to see from his boys is a lot of character, a lot of fight, a lot of pride in the jersey, and to make sure that they put in a performance that they can walk away from and go, "Do you know what? Okay, we might not have got the victory, of course, but we can build on this next week for Bordeaux coming to Belfast and welcome back another couple of players, hopefully." Yeah, Bristol are flying. They are flying. They're playing Globetrotters, Barbarians, rugby, running from absolutely everywhere. Topsy Ojo was on a podcast I was doing during the week, Donny, and he was talking about Bristol sort of went back to a kicking game there for a couple of seasons or a season and a half, and then quickly realised that they're not that team and it didn't work for them and they were dropping down the Gallagher Premiership. And now all of a sudden they've went, "We're going to go back to the Bristol way. We're going to go back to the way that we all know and we all understand, and lastly, we all enjoy." And they've got some really good results. Quins, they beat there recently, played brilliantly, racked up a load of points, 48 points away from home against a good Quinn side. So yeah, they're going to pose a number of challenges. The thing with me is when you're playing against Quins away, they like to do exactly the same thing and throw it around and try and score more in the opposition, and the big goal holes gaping everywhere in defence. Where we know, you and I both know what Leinster's defence is like, up so hard, not necessarily hitting man on ball all the time, but closing the spaces down, missing a few tackles, but then you get absolutely nailed from the inside if the ball goes inside. If you throw a long loopy ball over the top, Hugo Keenan's there to shut the gate and smash you before they reset and they go again. So I just can't see Leinster losing this game. I think they're going to have so much quality coming back. The interesting point is who's going to play 10. Prendergast, Frawley, Ross Byrne, who started up in Belfast, who went okay. Quite possibly that might be the case, that he gets given another chance. But yeah, when you bring back Van der Fleer, Doris, James Ryan, James Lowe, Gary Ringrose, Robbie Henshaw, Geordie Barrett, I think Tag Furlong's still going to be missing. However, I can't see Bristol Bears troubling Leinster around the set piece. So, yeah, it's going to be a great game. One that I'm excited about. 5:30 Sunday afternoon to finish off the first round of the Champions Cup. And hopefully the Irish sides can go well this weekend. And that Ulster don't rack up too many points on the losing end. That is because they're a team at the minute that's maybe struggling for a little bit of confidence, and a big score against them would make another dent in that. But yeah, it's going to be an exciting weekend.